right, welcome back, everyone, for another episode of the Wednesday Watch List. This is my weekly look ahead to all the new comic books coming out tomorrow, New Comic Book Day, Wednesday, April 23rd, 2025. Sorry this is running a day late, but, with Easter and WrestleMania, it's a lot going on with spring break and whatnot that running a little behind schedule. I mean, we even had the boys with the Star Wars show go a day late, and I let them do their show on Monday, so I put the watch list here on Tuesday to kind of play catch-up. The schedule might be a little wonky going forward. Not sure yet if we'll even do TAC tomorrow. So with that, the only thing you can count on is that the Hot 10 list will come your way 9 p.m. every Friday without fail. So with that said, hopefully you're enjoying everything here on the channel. Please let me know what you think in the comments down below. Make sure that you like, you subscribe, you hit the alert button so you don't miss anything. Keep telling your friends so we can keep growing the channel as we are getting closer and closer to 5K with each and every day. And with that all said, if you want to see this week's rundown, don't worry, I got you covered, and I'll be right back after this short little break. All right, let's get started with my personal pull list. These are the top of the pile type stuff. These are the books I can't wait to get a hold of with New Comic Book Wednesday tomorrow. And at the top of the pile, we will continue with one of my favorite Absolute titles, and that is Absolute Wonder Woman. Yeah, I don't know. I just like it better. Like it better than Superman. I like it better than Batman. Only thing that I would say is beating this out right now for me personally is Flash. But with that said, we'll get there. I mean, this is already 7 issues deep. Flash has only got two down, so we'll see how things roll over there. But for now, I'm still really enjoying Absolute Wonder Woman and looking forward to the next issue. Multiple covers here, as we've got a cover A, we've got a pretty cool Jessica Falling B, and then another nice C cover there, as well as a couple of incentives, one of which is that Jessica Falling cover that is a 1 in 50 version. So grab these if you like. These Absolute titles actually haven't done much since after that first Batman. Like after that, the initial Batman had some heat in the aftermarket with the incentives, but since then, things have kind of cooled down as far as the aftermarket goes. Granted, still plenty of orders, plenty of copies moving. They're just, orders are now satisfying the demand. So a lot more being printed, etc. With that said, that's our Absolute Wonder Woman for the week. And also coming out this week and probably really near the top of my list is Batman Hush. Now, I admit it, I did not want this sequel. I still don't know where this sequel series is going to go, but it still is Jim Lee and Jeff Loeb, so I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt and see how this thing rolls on. Multiple covers here, multiple options, as you might consider. I mean, the DC is pushing this as the most highly anticipated sequel of all time, which I think is a bit of an overstatement. Yes, I think a lot of folks are looking forward to this, but of all time, I think that's a stretch. But with that said, I am still curious of where this is going to go. So we do have part 2 with Batman 159 coming in here with the cover A. There is also a connecting cover that connects with last month's issue with by Delato. So you can see there, you got Soups now connecting with Bats and Catwoman on last month's issue. So building out a set there. Keep an eye on those. Keep building those out if you're into the Delato connecting covers. I know many people are. They're very popular with Spider-Man. They may be popular here as well in the aftermarket once all said and done. Who knows? But there is also a shiny foil version of our cover A, as well as a Tedesco there in the middle. And we've also got another option there by Andy Kubert, I believe. And we do have some incentives as well if you do want some incentives. And those are here with a 1 in 100, a 1 in 25, and a 1 in 50. So pick your poison of which one you may want if you're so inclined. I'm not getting any incentives here. Like I said, I might get the, I'm probably just going to get the cover A. Maybe I'll get the Delato connecting set. I'm not sure yet, but I'm fine with that and just reading the book and seeing what's inside. I don't see a lot of action on the aftermarket because even though I'm joking that this may not be the most highly anticipated sequel of all time, this is a pretty highly printed series right now. So plenty of copies available if you want them. They are out there. So don't see much action on the aftermarket probably for any of these. But who knows? We've always been surprised every once in a while. But with that said, on my pull list, yes, that's right. Green Arrow's now on my pull list. I'm just enjoying this read. I didn't think I would. Barlord recommended it, and I kind of been enjoying it lately. So for now, it's still on my pull list. Maybe it'll find its way on the fence. Maybe it'll drop. I don't know. But for right now, I'm really liking a lot of these DC titles as far as the read goes. So if you're like me and you like reading comics, DC's got a lot to offer these days, more so than Marvel, I would say. And with that, it's all been leading to this. The final showdown, we got the Freshwater Killer and the Emerald Archer, etc. Only 2 cover options here. Pick whichever one you want. I'm fine just getting the cover A, but there is a B option as well. And yeah, just going to keep rolling with Green Arrow for now. Also, surprisingly enjoyed Bug Wars. We're only at the 3rd issue here, but I'm still on board for now. So this is still on my pull list. It's still near the top. It still has my attention. So we'll see as this thing goes on. Maybe it'll just be something that I ride out to the end. I don't know. But for now, like I said, I'm still enjoying it. So issue 3 coming out this week. Jason Aaron, couple of cover options, and that's all you really need to worry about is an A and a B. Pick whichever one you like. And yeah, again, give it a read. This next one, I can't really say give it a read, but give it a look, because it is the next installment of the G.I. Joe Real American Heroes silent issue. So there's technically nothing to read, but that doesn't mean you still can't get a good story. You don't need words to tell a story. That's what the comic book format is all about, really. You should be able to tell most of the story without the words, but I still like them with them, both the words and the pictures together, but you can still get a decent story out of this with just the pictures. And this time out, we do have Roadblock. Yep, Roadblock with no words. Going to be interesting, considering the man is known for his gift of gab, his his tenacity for rhyme, if you will. I don't know. Point being, Roadblock is getting a silent issue here, which is kind of a surprise to me. But he is the next installment, the penultimate one-shot in this series of 5. This is the cover A. There is a cover B option here to choose from as well. Pick whichever one you like. And then we have the same incentives that we've had throughout the series. And people are starting to go and collect these 1 in 25 foils. Jinx kind of really got that ball moving with the 2nd issue, but these things are going for a little bit extra. Not a lot of volume, but it probably will be a tough set to put together as we are almost done. We have one more letter to go. I'll save it and show them all together once we get the E, but for now, Roadblock's got the O, and then there's still that black and white 1 in 10 if you want to go and grab that. Also, this is not the only G.I. Joe book this week. We are getting the next installment of the regular G.I. Joe title, just plain old G.I. Joe, but part of the Energon universe. So this is issue 6. We've got Cobra Commander there going head-to-head. It's pretty fun. It's all been leading to this, facing off against Duke. We'll see. And it's ending no one will see coming. Got my attention because they have been playing around with what they could do, what you might expect. With expectations, yeah. So we'll see how this rolls. I'm kind of looking forward to this. Issue 6 coming out. Multiple covers here. This is the cover A. I like the other 2 better by far. You got the Chew there in the middle, and I do like that Cobra Commander with all the snakes coming out of the body. It was one of my favorite covers of the week, if you saw the short that I dropped yesterday still. So, yeah, I'm fine. I think I actually ordered a copy of the B and the C for myself. And there are incentives as well, if you want to go that way. We've got the next installment of the 1 in 10. We've got the card back look with the 1 in 25. And then there is a spoiler cover for the 1 in 50. And don't worry, I'm going to spoil it for you. I don't think it's that huge of a spoiler at this point, but we're getting one anyway. And the cover there on the 1 in 50 is, well, it's a Transformer. I mean, yeah, we know this is all connecting. It's a connected universe, so it's really not that much of a spoiler, is it? Who is that? Hound? I think it's Hound, right? Isn't he the Jeep? But we'll see. We'll see how this storyline plays out. And just to show you that 1 in 10, again, this is the next part of the next connecting cover set. First 4 connected. Now we've got 5 and 6 going together here. We'll see how long this one goes out, but pretty cool. If you like connecting these, I do think it's kind of fun that the 1 in 10s are the connecting cover sets and in the Energon universe. So, yeah, 2 parts so far. We'll see how this one goes. And my last book on my pull list is, well, it's classic. It's Amazing Spider-Man. I told you this is going to get picked up no matter what. So in theory, this could just be, remember I used to have the Just Gotta Do It? Well, it doesn't matter because I'm actually liking this. I like the first issue. I'm on board to read some more. So let's see where we're going with this direction on Amazing Spider-Man. only at issue 2, but we're already at issue 2 because I feel it was only like 2 weeks ago that we got that first issue. But multiple covers here. Cover A, Villalobos cover B. We got a connecting cover set with the Marvel, handbook wraparounds. So you got that option there as well. More on that later. And then we do have a 4th cover option here for the open order stuff. Not too bad there. I kind of like the Villalobos. I mean, it is a Black Cat cover, and I'm not surprised that they chose that to be the Virgin 1 in 100. And then there are a couple of other incentives there, including the blue sketch version of the wraparound Marvel Handbook books, and a 1 in 25 thrown in as well with Hobgoblin. Cool. I don't know. Like I said, I do like the Villalobos. I don't know if this is going to do anything on the aftermarket. It always has a chance. Anytime you have a popular female character drawn by a popular artist, there's always a chance that one of these 1 in 100s could go for a premium, but we'll see. I don't know. I think there'll be plenty of copies available with it being Amazing Spider-Man, so I don't expect too much heat, especially when you can just go grab the trade dress like I'm going to. Just get the trade dress, and it should be good enough. But with that said, let's keep it going and to our next bit, which are the viewer recommendations. So I solicit your recommendations every week. Please tell me something I should be reading. Tell me something that you're reading that I'm not, that I should take a look at. Doesn't always have to be something coming out the week that I'm asking. It could be something from a couple of weeks ago. Don't go back too far because I don't want to be recommending books that are like 3 years old as part of this series. We can do that somewhere else in another format. But for this series, this is more your Wednesday watch list. This is your new release comic pickup, but we still can talk about books that might still be on the new release shelf from the past, 2 weeks or so. So anything like that is fair game. You read something last week or 2 weeks ago you think was really good. I missed out on it. Should be spotlighted. Tell me here, and we can do it. And I'll talk about it. I mean, this is a community effort after all, or at least that's what I'm hoping for. But with that said, I didn't get any new solicitations this week, so I have nothing new to take a look at as far as viewer recommendations go. But don't worry, I always challenge myself with new stuff anyway, so that's why I have the taste test. And with the taste test, well, we've got a little bit to catch up on, but that doesn't mean I didn't add some more. So with that said, last week's suggestions to myself, I wanted to read Mine is a Long Lost Lonesome Grave, but I didn't get it. Not yet. So I will get back to this once I get a copy. I just didn't get the copy that I ordered yet, so we'll see. I'll catch up when I get to there. Another one I put in front of myself to read for this week was Epitaphs from the Abyss, EC Horror. Remember, this one got delayed. So this one wasn't my fault. I couldn't get it. This one was delayed till this week. So I'll just read it this week. So that's the plan there for those. But on top of that, I also figured it's a good time to take a look back and check out a series that I had read initially when it restarted, dropped off for a couple dozen issues now, considering we are at issue 25 of Superman. So as part of the Summer of Superman, we are getting the 25th issue of his new run. And I'm just going to kind of give it, I'm curious. I just want to give it a look, dip my head in, see where it's at, see what's going on in the world of Superman. I've never been a big Superman fan. I just couldn't connect to the character. He's just so overpowered, and it's just not a lot of high stakes when you're reading the stories. I don't know. It's just something that never really connected with me personally. I know a lot of my buddies will yell at me for that. Bruce, Cliff, sorry guys. It's just Superman has never been my guy. Though I love the Christopher Reeve movies, and I always give Superman a chance. He's just not my favorite. That's all. But with that said, it is the rematch of the century, Superman versus Lex Luthor. And Lex Luthor in the purple and green armor, like from the Superpowers days, always gets my attention. So I'll always give it a look. So I figured I'd give this one a look. This is the cover A, which is a wraparound. So I figured I'd show you the wraparound cover on it right now, right? Boom. So pretty cool. We got Lobo. We got some Doomsday in there. Looks like Baroness, but I think that's supposed to be Mercy Graves. I don't know. Anyway, that's the cover A, which is also offered in a foil option. So if you want to get a foil option, they do have one there as well. With that option, we do have many more. Since it's the 25th anniversary, 25th milestone issue of this new series, they're offering even more covers. So we got our Grissetti in the middle. We got Gillum March there on the side. And probably one of my favorites of the week, there is a Jeff DeCall there. And then we do have all of the old Supermen. Remember Remember the reign of the Supermen? So all 4 options there. Kind of a nice little callback. Fun little cover there. But that Jeff DeCall, I don't know how to say it properly. Feel free to correct me in the comments below, but that is a good one. I do like that one. And we do have some incentives. I also like the Dave Johnson. Anytime he's doing these advertisements, it's like the silly little advertisements inside the book as a cover. I just kind of like it. I think it's a fun little thing. So that 1 in 25, it could be had for like $9 from Midtown as one of the places I saw. So definitely any of these incentives, especially on the DC side of things, can be had for less than ratio. Pick them up if you're interested. I do like the Superman and Lois Kiss there on the right as well. The 1 in 100 is all right, but yeah, the 125 and 150 are probably my favorites, but I'm still not getting incentives here. I'm probably just going to get the Jeff DeCall cover and be fine with that. Now, before we move on, just remind anybody out there who needs supplies, use my code RENA10 to save yourself 10% off your entire order over at BCW. They got your bags, your boards, short boxes, long boxes, CGC boxes, top loaders, cards for your pages, anything to keep your comics or collectibles safe. Probably a product over at BCW. So use my code RENA10, save yourself 10% off your entire order, and save some money when you got to get that stuff that you hate having to buy. So save some money while you're at it. So use that code RENA10. With that, let's move on to writing it out. These are some stories and titles that I'm going to be getting it right now. I might be a little behind on reading some of them. Others, it's just for now, I just decided I'm seeing storylines, story arcs, and things like that through no matter what. So generally, this is kind of an extension of the pull list because I'm getting all these too, but for different reasons. With that, one of the books here is Green Lantern. I'm enjoying Green Lantern Corps more than the regular Green Lantern title, but I'm still giving it more of a chance. Here we got Hector Hammond versus Hal Jordan coming to a head. And yeah, I'm going to keep checking this out because, again, DC has just been writing better stuff lately. So I'm on board for this. Issue 22. I really like the Miguel Mercado cover there in the middle. There's a Perillo. It's not bad either. So any of those, pick from there. And then there's also a Mark Spears 1 in 25 if you're interested with, Hal in a big old conjured monster truck, which is a pretty fun idea. So grab that if you're interested. That one could see some action because Mark's books, especially lately, have been, doing what they do on the market. So if you have a chance to get one for a fair price, maybe consider it, because if you want to keep it for yourself, if you want to flip it, hey, I'm not going to tell you how to hobby. You do what you want. I'm just saying his books lately have been doing well on the aftermarket. And I don't think that's a surprise for me to say that to you. But with that said, let's keep it going. And a title I am far, far behind on, but I'm still going to get it no matter what. Without fail, I'll keep getting Monstrous. I will catch up eventually. I'm just behind. That's all. But I'm going to keep getting Monstrous issue 57 coming out this month, or this week, I should say. And then, well, yeah, that's why I'll just leave it there. It is what it is. Up next, Deadpool Wolverine. Now, I'm riding this first story arc out because while I did think the first issue was much better than expected, I'm kind of losing that steam. But I'm going to see this through. I thought about putting this on the fence, but I know I'm just going to see this at least through this first story arc. So I think we might have another issue or two, and we'll take it from there. But for now, A Time of Strife. Okay. Was never a huge Strife fan. All that X-Force stuff back in the day was, even as a kid, I didn't love it. But hey, it is what it is. We'll see how this goes. Cover A. We got a cover B option here as well as a 1 in 25 if you want to go that route. So there you go. Pick what you like. And also, I'm going to be writing out X-Men. Yeah, this restart of the X-Men universe still isn't where I want it to be. So I'm going to keep getting them because, like I said, no matter what, I'm going to keep getting Amazing Spider-Man. I'm going to keep getting Uncanny. I'm going to keep getting regular X-Men. So the regular X-Men title, I'm just going to keep getting it regardless. A couple issues behind on reading this stuff. I kind of fell behind after the little crossover between Uncanny and this with the Gray Malkin stuff. And then we had the X-Man Hunt. And now I'm just, it's only a couple issues, but I'm still a little behind. But I'm just going to keep getting it. X-Men 15, because I'm an X-Men fan. This is the cover A. There is a pretty interesting cover B by Perel there in the middle. And then we got another wraparound handbook style thing. And then we do have a... sorry for my incentive here. That's the wrong one. That should be the Cyclops, but in a Virgin format. And then there's a 1 in 50 as well, which is the blue sketches. So once again, I'm going to go back. I don't feel like fixing it right now, but see this Cyclops cover? Just take the trade dress off. That's the 1 in 100. Sorry, forgot to update the deck right. And with that, speaking of writing it out, here we are. This wasn't initially on my pull list or anything, but now it's about done. This is the final issue. Your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. The show took me by surprise. I didn't think I was going to like it as much as I did. And I gave the comic book a try, and I kind of like the comic. Just kind of filling out some of the character arcs and, backstory, etc. Here we go, issue 5. So it'll be done after this, and then I'll have to wait, like everybody else, for next season, next year, or whenever it's coming out. But this is the prequel comic, ending here with issue 5. So 3 options for covers. It doesn't matter to me which one I get. It's kind of an open pull. I'll take whatever I get here. They're all about the same. I mean, the Dan Parent's kind of fun in an Archie sort of way for this title. We're going to get to another Dan Parent book later that's just not for me. But before we get there, we also have The Last Boy. So Peter Pan's never been a favorite character of mine in any stretch of the word. And I honestly still have to read issue 1, but I'm going to give this the benefit of the doubt. Why? Because it's written by Dan Panosian, who I'm a big fan of, both the art and the writing. Remember that series Slots? I like that a lot. Point being, I'm going to give Dan Panosian the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to catch up probably this week, and I'm just going to be getting this. So that's why it's in writing it out and not in the pull list, because I still haven't read issue 1. That gorgeous Adam Hughes cover from back in the day. But apart from that, there's also the cool Dan Panosian covers and other covers from other artists. Like this is the cover A by Panosian, but then we also have, I think, Elizabeth Torque doing that one, and then we got another option over there. And then we do have some Virgin versions, which are our 1 per store, our 1 in 10, and 1 in 25. Always keep an eye on these, 1 per stores. Every now and again, one of them pops. 1 in 10, 1 in 25, kind of same deal. I don't think any of these has the same legs as what that Hughes did on issue 1, but don't sleep on this series. Don't forget about this series, because other covers could be coming before it wraps up this mini. So, with that said, let's move on to On the Fence. So these are going to be the titles that I am debating whether to continue, whether to keep them on my pull list or not. For now, I'll keep going a little bit longer. Writing it out, again, I know I'm in for a few more issues, long haul type stuff. This area here are more things that I'll read this issue. That could be it. They got to win me over here, or I may be out. With that in mind, first one up is another one of those absolute titles, and this is Absolute Martian Manhunter number 2. I know a lot of you out there love this. I thought it was okay. I didn't love it. I don't know what I was expecting, but I've never been a big Martian Manhunter fan, and while I do get where they were going with the angle and the vibe, I'm interested, but I wasn't 100% on board or sold to keep up for the whole mini, because I think this is only like, 5 or 6 issues in total, but this is issue 2, so I'm not going to necessarily write it out if this one doesn't keep my interest. If they just, tread water or kind of just try to stretch things out, I may just drop it before we get to the end. So we'll see how it goes. Cover A here. B, C options as well. I've already showed you that one is a connecting cover, and it goes as part of the Flash and Green Lantern set here. So we showed this to you last week when the Flash one came out. So now we got the second part. Green Lantern will come out next week, I believe, and that will be the middle portion to make this set work. But then we do still have another option here for open order covers before we get to the 1 in 25 and the 1 in 50 incentive. Once again, if you want to pay the premium, you can. You can generally find them for under ratio, so have at it if you like. Also, here on Writing It Out, I've been saying, Justice League Unlimited, it's still just hanging on. It's hanging on. Just hang it in there with me, because I don't know. I get tired of these team up books after one team up or big team books like Avengers, Justice League. I get excited when they restart new number ones, new storylines, and then I just quickly fade, just like everything. I just can't read everything. And you guys know what I mean. Like the excitement and looking forward to it starts to become more of a chore, and then it starts finding itself lower in the pile until the point of like, why am I still getting this? So I'm trying to keep myself on point by doing this series like this, where I have points of writing it out. Well, I'm on the fence. Here I'm on the fence. It is We Are Yesterday Part 2, so it's Part 2 in this little storyline, but that's not automatically going to keep me on board. But they did have me with a Legion of Doom. So the old school Legion of Doom still has my interest. We're going to see where this goes. With that, this is the cover A. This actually connects with next week's issue of World's Finest, which is part 3 of this storyline. So this is going to be a Justice League Unlimited World's Finest kind of crossover event thing. So keep an eye on that. And then we got, like I said, it's that Bermejo, I believe, over on the side. And then we do have a Mark Spears cover for this, as well as a Nathan Zerdy. So a lot of good covers here, a lot of good cover options. Pick the one that you like. And if you want to go the incentive route, we do have a 1 in 25 and a 1 in 50 there. But I got to admit, all the open order covers to me far exceed these two. So I don't really have much interest in these personally. But with that said, let's keep it going to Assorted Crisis Events, number 2. Yeah, I was interested. But again, I'm on the fence of how long I want to go and see this thing through. We'll give issue 2 a read, see if it keeps my interest. Otherwise, I can't keep up with everything. This is the cover A. There is a cover B. And there is no incentive for this issue. It's just A and B. So pick one or the other. Now, those are the things I'm on the fence about. Now, up next, well, as you might guess it, these are going to be books that I've decided that I'm out.
I'm out.
What?
Yeah, I'm out. I'm out of the contest.
Now, with that being out, some of these I might not have announced it yet. Maybe they were on the fence. Maybe I was thinking about it. Whatever. I'm just confirming they're just not something I want to keep getting for right now. So, books I did pick up earlier. The Peacemaker Vigilante with Eagly. Got it. We reviewed it. It's all right. I mean, it is got the tone of the TV show. But for whatever reason, I just, at the end of it, I think it's the order. Because I did enjoy the first story. And then when they kind of redid the story again a little bit, I didn't like it as much the second half of the book. And it just kind of left it on a sour note that I don't care. I don't need to get this. It's just not something I need. I'm fine. I'm looking forward to the show. I'm going to watch it come August. But I don't need this in comic form. But I generally don't like humor in comics in this way. I don't know. It's just a thing for me. It's just Rick and Morty, the Rick and Morty comics. Love the cartoon. Got the comics for a while. I just can't keep up with that type of stuff. I don't know why. It's just, it doesn't translate the same to me. But if you're enjoying it, not judging, go for it. This is issue 2 of 5, cover A. 2 more options as well if you want them. Yeah, so boom, there you go. Is he sitting on the toilet, I guess, in the one? I don't know. Point being, this one is going to be finding itself left on the shelf for me. And that's what we'll get to next, but we're not there yet. Because the other title, I'm not sure if I announced that I'm going to be out on it, is Eddie Brock Carnage. Just too many symbiotes. Just can't keep up with this stuff. And here's a cover A. He's still fighting Bushwhacker by 3 issues in. I mean, Bushwhacker is not the greatest villain in the world and doesn't maybe need a whole arc to keep him going. Yes, the first issue was kind of interesting. I didn't even bother getting the second issue, so that's why I wasn't sure if I needed to announce that I'm out. But issue 3 is now here. And like I said, I didn't even read issue 2. I'm not getting issue 3. So cover A. Or the B or the C. And there's that Dan Parent that I was referencing before. It just doesn't work. It's just not going to, it just doesn't work for me. That Archie style on this book, it was a poor match. They don't go together. My opinion. I don't know. That said, the 1 in 25 on this does work, and it works really well. And Mike Mayhew, where you been? I feel like I haven't talked about one of your covers in a while. I know he's done a lot of exclusives on his own for his own store, but man, this is just a beast. I just like the detail here. You look at all the sinew and the just everything. It's fantastic. 1 in 25. I won't be surprised if this thing is doing well on the aftermarket this week. I'm probably not going to be able to get one. I don't know where I'm going to go and look for one. Shop's not going to have 1 in 25 of this Eddie Brock Carnage near me, and I'm not going hunting, so probably not going to get it personally, but I do like it a lot, and I would consider it. I still don't know if I'd pay rate personally. Don't know if I want to buying at ratio, but if we're less than ratio, 15, 20, yeah, I'd probably buy in. But I'm cheap, and I got a budget, so that's why I put that there. But you do what you like. With that said, as I mentioned, now we will get to Left on the Shelf, where these titles will find themselves probably next month. With that, one that's already on the shelf was Flash. So now we're starting a new storyline, Bad Moon Rising. I know a lot of people are loving this too. Like a lot of people are enjoying the regular Flash run, but I just couldn't get into it. I just felt so lost when I tried to jump back in an issue or two ago. Maybe I need to go back and read back further to catch up. I don't know. It's just I'm good with all absolute Flash. I don't know how many Flash books I need in my pull list right now. So we might just leave this one there for now. Point being, we got to cover A, B, C options if you want. Oh, sorry for that World's Finest thing. That shouldn't have been there. I just reused the slide deck to build out. Messed up my transition. That's fine. We got a 1 in 25 and a 1 in 50 option. Oh, I'm sorry. Just a 1 in 25 and a foil. That's what we have here. So we got a foil edition and we got a 1 in 25. If you're interested, pick up whatever you like. And then we have another Green Lantern title. Also, don't think it's necessary right now. Can't get every Green Lantern title. I mean, apart from the fact that I like Green Lantern Corps, the regular Green Lantern title's fine. Absolute Green Lantern, also not bad. I don't think I need an Elseworlds Green Lantern running at the same time. I mean, you gotta pick your moment because it's just too much. It's just too much, and cuts have to be made for many. Like I'm sure a lot of you out there also have budgets. Can't be throwing an extra $5 here, $5 there. It adds up quickly. So Green Lantern Dark issue 4, unnecessary for me, and it might be great. I don't know. I haven't been reading it because I had to make that decision. I will say, this is the cover A. I do really like the cover here in the middle. Oh, sorry, look, there's that World's Finest again. Man, I'm really going to have to fix that next time out. But with that, I really do like that one in the middle. I forget who did it. Nimitz did that? Anyway, issue 4, another option there. If you're interested, it's a Kevin Wada, I think. I don't know. But again, I'm not reading this title. If it's good, please let me know. But it's just one of those things. Budget cuts, budget concerns. Can't get everything. Same reason why, well, that and also I just really wasn't into Hornsby and Halo. It was all right, but, in a kind of a Good Omens kind of way. It was like Good Omens mixed with a Romeo and Juliet kind of vibe. I don't know. But I just wasn't for me, and I can't get everything. So as much as I like Ghost Machine, this and Rockefellers are the two that I decided I couldn't keep up with. So it's on the shelf for me. I know other people are liking it. That's good. But for now, I just got to leave it there. Cover A. B and C options here as well. There's that World's Finest. I just can't seem to get rid of it. That's what I get for reusing slides and just building on top of them. Sometimes I make mistakes. Hopefully you don't mind. It's been a busy week. So I didn't have a lot of time to go double checking my work. With that said, I gave this one a test, and it was all right, but I still feel I'm so far behind. I can't really get in here on issue 8, and yeah, as I said, decisions have to get made. So I'm leaving Power Fantasy on the shelf. Like I said, I didn't have the time to catch back up. But it wasn't bad. The one issue I did read when I gave it a taste test, I think, wasn't too bad. But here we are at issue 8 already. Just can't do it. 2 options here, A and a B. B is probably my favorite. But yeah, pick whichever one you like if you're on board for that title. Another one, just not for me. New Champions. Yeah, okay. Secret Origin of the Gold Tiger. Why's it got to be a secret? We just don't have origin. These were all cover drawing characters. They just made up out of nowhere. They didn't have backstory. So we need origins for all of them at this point, I think. But does it have to be a secret? But it's not for me. Issue 4, couple options here. The Lobos in the middle, still good. I would pick it up if I were getting this title. That's what I would get. And they did decide to make that the Virgin 1 in 50 as well. So they're still doing incentives there. But nope. Not for me, but it's another, like I said, popular female characters. Amaranth has taken off with some collectors. People like collecting a new character type stuff. You got Lobos doing it. It's a Virgin. It could do something, but probably not much. We'll see. Something to keep an eye on. That's why it's on the watch list. Keep an eye and see what it does. I told you a couple issues ago I was out on Ultimate Black Panther. I just couldn't keep up. Can't keep up with everything. Wasn't loving it. It was all right, but it is what it is. Issue 15 coming out. If you're enjoying it, cool. We got 2 options for you. A and a B. Kind of like that B. And not bad. 1 in 25 here as well. So all good covers for this title. It's just something that's not on my regular pull list anymore. I just can't do it. Just like X-Force. Just couldn't do it here either. And this is Legacy issue 300. You would have thought they would have made a little bit more of a hoopla or something about this, but it's $5.99, so there's that. But only a couple of covers, and I can't even show you them all here because they're in other segments. But here is the regular cover price A, and for now, I'm just going to show you the 1 in 50. And I think there's a Marvel Capcom to show you later, but there you go. With that, we're going to make a weird transition from this to another area, which is the oversized books. Now, usually this is filled up with distillery and some magazine type stuff, but for whatever reason, DC has decided to do, I guess, every issue of this new Hush Part 2 storyline in giant size, treasury size. I don't know what we're oversized editions. I don't know what we're going to call these, but this huge $15 version for a big 11 by 17. Do we need this? I don't know. We're getting it. And yeah, it's $15. Or if you want it to be shiny, you can get in a shiny version as well for 20. So basically $20. I know the first one I think took off a little bit because it probably not a lot of shops ordered it because probably didn't think a lot of people would want just a bigger version of a comic book. I mean, just get readers. You can't read the words, just get readers. You don't need to buy a bigger version. But I don't know. We'll see what happens with this one. With that said, yes, it is a big event for DC, but Marvel's got their own big event, so let's go on over there and check out One World Under Doom. And this week, we've got 2 installments, including the main title. So, I'm not getting all the side titles. I don't think anybody is. Maybe you are. If you are, God bless you, because there are a lot. But for this week, we're getting off easy. We're getting One World Under Doom, issue 3, main title, core title. This is what I'm reading, trying to keep up. This would normally be on my pull list, but since I have a whole segment or section for One World Under Doom, we have it here. This is the cover A. I really like another cover here coming up. We do have a Godtail, that Doom Rex or whatever they're calling it. All good options here, but realistically, I like the Delato there in the middle. And then we do have another connecting wraparound cover thing there. With that, incentives, yes, there are incentives. There is a 1 in 25, a 1 in 100, and a 1 in 50. So the 1 in 100 is the Delato in virgin form. Again, another book to keep an eye on. No, it is not a sexy girl cover, but it is still a popular artist and a popular character. So that's something else to keep an eye on. But upside's probably limited by this is probably a heavily ordered title. Yada, yada, yada. Maybe it sells for a little over ratio. We'll see. But I do like the Delato with the trade dress, and that's the one I'm probably going to get for myself personally. But you get whichever one you like. The Avengers this week, issue 25, another anniversary milestone issue. Even though it's only Legacy 791, it is the 25th issue here. Masters of Evil Part 1, still part of One World Under Doom, as you can see by the top border there. And yeah, we'll see where this goes. Avengers, as I mentioned, is a title that I haven't been getting in a while. Usually leave it on the shelf, so this is where it would normally find itself if it weren't a One World Under Doom tie-in. We do have A, B, C options. We've also got, a D option as well here. So we got this one, if you're interested in that. I think it's a Dodderman, Russell Dodderman. And then we do have 1 in 25s and a pair of 1 in 50s. So we got 1 in 25 and a pair of 1 in 50s. So, yeah, there. In case you want to keep up with everything, yes, we have a bunch of parts. There's 1 through 9 for the whole storyline. Here's the next 9. We've got 10 through 18. And then the last couple of weeks, we've gotten ourselves all the way up to parts 19, 20, 21, 22, 23 as of last week. And then this week, we're adding our 2 new editions with parts 24 and parts 25, which I think take us to like close to halfway through, or at least halfway through the number of books you have to buy to get all of them, because I think it's in the 50s. But with that said, it's a lot of books. Especially when we keep adding new ones with new number 1s, which is our next segment here. New number 1s. Let's go on over to Dark Horse, who is getting back on that. We got to give you a new number 1 all the time horse. And we have Arcana Royale, $5. From the co-creator, Six Gun and Harrow County, comes a new supernatural thriller that the Sandman meets Rounders. Okay. All right. Mildly interested. So we'll see. It's part 1 of 4. So starting a new mini. Could do worse. There's just so many titles. They just keep doing so many books. And another Witcher. We're getting another Witcher starting up here. So another Witcher mini, new part 1 of 4. The Bear and the Butterfly. This is cover A. Pretty cool. We got a few other options as well, if you like those better. And then we got a 4th one here too. So I like the A, I think, probably out of the most of them. So probably just get that one myself, because I do still get these Witcher comic books for some reason. I don't know why. I just do. But with that said, over on the Spawn side of things, we are getting a new #1 from Medieval Spawn, getting his own little mini. I think it's 4 issues or so, I think is what they have planned. But cover A, not a lot of options, which I'm surprised. Usually with the McFarlane books, they go all out and there's like 10 different ones, and then there's secret signed Todd editions of books, etc. Nope, pretty simple. Cover A, there's a sketch, and then there is a black and white version of that cover A, which is done by McFarlane and Matina. So, yeah, it's pretty cool. 2 of them working together. I don't know. I'm still probably not getting this, though. I'm just not keeping up in the Spawn universe. But let's move on. We have Moonshine Bigfoot, Buzzard County, 1981. So we got a comic starting in the 80s, something about Bigfoot. I don't know. Looks goofy and silly. It's got my attention. I think I might give this thing a shot. But issue 1 of 4, I think. I think it's going to be a 4-issue mini. This is the cover A, the only regular cover option, because there is a 1 in 10, which I do really like, because it's got like a movie poster kind of vibe. I feel like I'm getting a mix of Meatballs meets some sort of action movie from the 80s. I don't know. I don't know what to expect out of this title, except something fun. So, and when I said earlier about the comedy books not really grabbing me, it depends. Like, I don't like adaptations of animated cartoon TV shows like a Simpsons comic or a Family Guy comic, per se. Rick and Morty, as I mentioned. Like, I would never ask for an Archer comic. I love Archer as a show in that format, but there is still a place for silly books like Moonshine Bigfoot or Shirtless Bear Fighter and things like that. That's different to me. That's comedy just made for this format. I'm on board, and I'm probably going to check this out. With that said, the last #1 I want to talk about for this week is Predator versus Spider-Man. Benjamin Percy. Yeah, I'm probably going to look at this. Yep. Predator versus Wolverine was a natural start, and this is a natural next step, I guess, for the Marvel crossover with the Predator. Why not hunt Spider-Man? It's like Kraven the Hunter. Maybe that's the only thing. Kraven the Hunter versus a Predator. Maybe we'll get that eventually. Maybe if that Kraven movie was a bigger hit, we would have gotten it sooner. But here we are with Spidey. Cover A. The Ryan Brown is really good with the head-to-head. I also kind of like the Salvador Larroca, I believe, did that. Or is it Pepe Larraz? Maybe Pepe Larraz. No, that's Pepe Larraz. That's not Salvador. That's Pepe Larraz over on the side, which is a cool look, holding Spidey by the head. And then we also got a foil edition, too. So if you want to get a foil one, nice, get shiny version. Cool. And then we got some incentives, including a version of the cover A for the 1 in 100. And then there's a 1 in 25 and a 1 in 10 design cover mixed in there as well. All right. With that, you might not be on board for this. You might be asking yourself, what is going on here? But don't worry. I've got a whole nother section, another book to talk about here in the WTF section. So let's get to WTF.
WTF, Gary. WTF. What the fuck does WTF mean? What the fuck? Oh.
Yes, and this one is going to be sort of an extension of new #1s, because it is not a new #1, but a redone #1. Youngblood #1 Deluxe. They're basically taking all the words out and replacing them with new words. So you're going to sell me the same comic with new words 30 years later? Okay. I guess 33rd anniversary. 1992. Wow. But yeah, jam-packed with 40 pages of story and art. I This Ultimate Collector's Edition you've been waiting for has been rescripted, recolored. All right, cool. We got new colors too, and relettered. All we did was keep Rob's original pencils, which, okay, I don't know if that was necessary. Why don't you just give us an all new book? How about that? Just give us a new book. I don't get it. I don't get this, which is why it's here. You changed everything but the pencils. All right. Okay. Cover A. As you might guess, yeah, we'll make a shiny one too. So yeah, there's a shiny foil version, and then there is a 1 in 25 incentive, which it's like a storyboard version. His original sketch layout, whatever you want to call it, little thumbnail, I guess. Yeah. It's not his. It's actually another artist doing it after Liefeld, but it does have that kind of thumbnail kind of vibe. The whole point being, I don't know why this is being made, but it is. With that said, why not just make a regular facsimile of it? Like, why are you redoing like almost all of it? I don't know. Whatever. Speaking of facsimiles, let's get into facsimiles. Not a lot this week. We just got a pair of books to talk about. We got Teen Titans number 60. We got a cover A. We got a sketch blank cover, and then there's a foil version of this. Why they're doing this one, I don't know exactly. I know a lot of you DC guys out there are probably going to tell me, "What do you mean? You don't know? It's the first appearance of I don't know what. Is it just Wonder Girl or Aqualad joined the team? I'm not sure, but I mean, it is a classic Titans book, Brave and the Bold. It's just I don't know, getting it. And then Marvel is still doing these. So 134 is an important book. I mean, Dark Phoenix Saga. Everybody loves this book, right? Which is why I'm surprised that we're only getting a cover A, no foil, no shiny foil version, and then new cover art on a 1 in 25, which it's all right. They could have done better. Just saying. Think about it. I mean, again, I'm not want to. It's not a bad cover. It's just this ain't gonna get me out chasing a 1 in 25 facsimile, But you could have, depending on who you brought in. You got a lot of artists in the stable. You could have done something that got the attention of the market, but I don't think this one's going to, personally. But yeah, we'll see. I could be wrong. Maybe a lot of people like this more than I do. It just looks kind of, all right. With that said, normally that would have just been included in later prints way back in the day on this show, but now they're separate. And now we do have later prints because we actually do have a lot of later prints to talk about because Absolute decided to hit us up with more versions of books I don't think anybody needs. But we're getting them. If you somehow didn't get Absolute Batman 1 yet, in all the 5 printings, don't worry. We have a 6th printing with 1 cover. I'm sorry, 2 covers. Oh, in case you want this one shiny, we already made a shiny version of the other one, so let's make a shiny of that one. So we got 3 cover options for you for a 6th printing because I don't know who's buying these. But okay. If you are, and I feel bad for the diehard collectors, got to get every printing and every copy because, man, if they start keeping this up like the Energon universe is doing, you're going to find yourself with the 11th, 12th printings. Sorry. They just want to keep getting $5 out of you every time they decide to just recolor the cover. Cool. With that said, yeah, we got a 4th printing for issue 2 to go along with that. Playing catch up here. Yep. More options as well. Including a 3rd for number 3. Yep. 3rd for number 3. And yeah, we can't just have 1. Let's give you 2. At least there's no foils. Oh, spoke too soon. No, it's not issue 4. We're going over to Superman for the 4th printing for issue 1. Because yes, you guessed it. We've got this cover. We've got another cover. And we'll make it shiny if you want it. No? Don't like Superman? How about a fifth printing? Jesus, fifth printing of Wonder Woman, Absolute Wonder Woman #1, with, yes, this cover redone, new colored trade dress, and another cover option, which ain't bad. I mean, it's not bad. Is that Dan Mora? I like it, and sure, why not give you a shiny foil version of it? It's just, by now, who still needs a copy of this? That's all my only point. Just get the trade. Anyway, we do have some second printings in case you missed out on Godzilla versus Chicago. There you go, IDW, or Bug Wars, but issue 2 of Bug Wars. Since we got issue 3 coming out this week, you can still play catch up and get yourself issue 2 of Bug Wars if you missed out, with a second print there. And we also got a second printing of Alcatraz #1 from Oni. There's a lot of covers on this. I'm surprised it's done as well as it has. I still haven't read this. Did anybody read this? Is it any good? Please tell me down below. I might have to give it a look because I'm just surprised it's got a second printing. But with that said, let's get to some variants. Let's try to wrap up here and get to some of the variants for the month. We have Marvel versus Capcom over at Marvel, doing some more of those Bendis design covers. This week we have Colossus on X-Force. And we have Juggernaut on X-Men 15. We are almost done. I believe we have one left, or at least one left, coming next week with the Wolverine and Kitty Pryde #1. And that'll be the final design cover for this. Now, let's get on over to the interlocking covers because, I like these. Nothing this week released alone connects in and of itself, but we do have 4 more additions to the set of 15. So we have Amazing Spider-Man #2. There you go. We've got the Avengers giving us some more. We've got One World Under Doom #3 giving us a bit more. And we have X-Men #15 with even a bit more than that. We are almost done. We only have one more part left. And once I get that done next week for Fantastic Four #31, I'll show you how all 15 of these connect in a never-ending loop of a set. It's kind of fun. It's just like the handbooks did back in the day. I already did some shorts showing the original handbooks. If you haven't checked those out on the channel, I got one more of those to do to show you the final bit of that set. And it'll mirror this set because this is an homage to that set. So, it is what it is. Just like April's almost over, but DC's still giving us April Fool's Day covers. All right, guys, a little bit late on this. You probably should have done this in March leading up to April Fool's Day because at this point, who cares? I'm just saying. Out of all the good covers I've already shown you, because a lot of these are books we've already talked about, are you really going to choose this for your second part of Hush Part 2, Batman 159? Well, all the cover options I showed you, from the Jim Lees, and you got the Tedesco in there, etc. Is this the one you're going to go with? Because it's goofy? All right, fun joke. All right, anyway. Yeah. We've got 4 of these this week for some reason. April 1st was 3 weeks ago, plus a day. Anyway, Green Arrow's got one. Again, should have done it last month, I mean. Harley's got one. Cool. Wasted David Nakayama's talents doing this. Sorry. I don't like these. They're not fun. I don't know. It's just not that fun. I don't know. I don't know. Sorry, I'm struggling through this segment because it just doesn't make sense to me that why we're on April 22nd, we're talking about April Fool's Day variant covers from DC. It's just poor planning. Superman 25 as well. Oh boy, there's a Joker logo on his shirt. Haha. What a prank. What a prankster. Okay, with that palette cleanse, let's move on. A completely different direction. Cheesecake Covers. But we'll stick with DC and we'll stick with Harley because here we have Harley. Okay. Couple options though. We do have her here. A's, B's, and C's. I like them all. You got the Duovich. I don't know. I haven't been paying attention or reading Harley lately, but when did she become like one of the Suicide Girls? You know what I'm talking about? With the glasses? I don't know. That's what it is. Oh, I don't believe this is correct. This is not This is Wonder Woman, so that doesn't go with that. But let's move on. Power Girl. Yeah, that Wonder Woman was from last month's deck. That's why I kind of snuck in there. But Power Girl, we just got 2 covers, I believe, here. We got the cover A here, back to back, seeing double, and then we got the Girl Squad here on that B cover. Pick whichever one you like. Just like you got 2 options for Witchblade this month. Still featuring Jackie Escato, The Darkness, looks like. We got the A, and then we got a Tula Lote. Hey, those rhyme. I also want to show you a couple of incentives for the Mummy, which, I don't know, kind of fit this segment. They're playing up. It's not just the Mummy. It's not just the Mummy, but we got a Gillum March connecting cover on the 1 in 10s, and then I did like the 1 in 75 here as well. But that's a pretty high ratio to go chasing. But still, pretty cool cover, and it's got a Mummy. Grimm, the Zenoscope side of things, we have Grimm Fairy Tales Once Upon the End of Time #1. Again, I don't know why everything's a #1. They all one-shots. It's just, there's very few ongoing series here, but we've got this with a cover A. And then we got a couple other options there too. And yeah, let's mix that one up. Yeah. And as you might guess, the Royal in the middle, we're going to make it a little bit naughtier, and that will be the 1 in 20 incentive if you want to go that route. Good luck finding one. They're not the easiest things to find. It's a niche collectible, but they're out there. With that, we are also getting Lilith #3. So the 3rd issue of Lilith, which will come with some black bagged versions. So these will be adult covers that will be polybagged and covered, so we can't show them here. But 2 options there, along with the cover A, which we will also strip of the trade dress to make the 1 in 10 incentive variant. There is also a 1 in 5 variant that they make a virgin version for the 1 in 20. So decided to put those like kind of bookending that 1 in 10 in the middle there. Up next, Magic. So Magic is a title that would normally find itself in my pull list because I actually like reading this. I'm enjoying Magic. It's one of the few Marvel titles that I've kind of liked so far. Granted, we're only at issue 4 here, but so far so good. Still on board to read a bit more. But we've got this here with a couple other options. That's the J. Scott Campbell A. We got a Rose Besh with her holding the statue there in the middle, and we'll take the trade dress off of that one and make that a virgin 1 in 100. And then there's a design cover for the 1 in 10. So, yeah. Creepy demon lady. I forget what her name was. I think she had a name in the earlier issue. I'm drawing a blank right now. But there's is it Gravity? Gravity, I guess? Doesn't sound right, but I think so. I think that was it. Anyway, there are your options there. Let's just get into a few other covers I like. Just a couple. Not a lot. Covered a lot. Just a couple more. And we've got another Bjorn Barons who's just doing a great job over in the Spawn side of things. At least to me, I'm liking a lot of these covers. And here's a Gunslinger Spawn. I'm not usually reading Gunslinger Spawn, but I kind of like this one. I kind of like all the covers for Gunslinger Spawn, actually, for this month, because here's another pretty good one by Don Aguilo. I don't know if I'm saying that even close to right, but that cover looks pretty right. I like it. But again, it's not a title I'm reading, but good art on the covers here, because here's another option for you. So 3 good covers. This one by Antonio Lucci. I like them all. We're all solid. I just don't know what's in the inside of this book, if it's worth reading. Again, if any of you guys out there are reading it, please tell me, recommend it, or tell me I'm right to not be buying it because it's just silly. I don't know. But with that, I don't know much about this title either. The Armory Wars Good Apollo on Burning Star 4 Volume 2. One of the longest titles ever. I know this has been running for a while over at Boom, and these covers always seem to impress. And here is the trade dress version by Jonathan Wayshak. And then there is a pretty cool 1 in 10 virgin version of that as well that I really like. I don't know. It's just a good image. Gets my attention. It makes me want to actually open this up and see what's inside, even though I'm not going to because I've already spent enough for this week. But speaking of this week, now we will get to the final part of the final segment of the show, the best of the week. For the best of the week, these are just my personal selections, my favorites of the week as far as covers go. My favorite variant cover for this week is that Mike Mayhew 1 in 25. If I were to be buying an incentive variant this week, this would be the one I would get because I just like this art. This art's great. It's really cool. It's so detailed. It's vicious. I don't know. I just dig it. Just dig it. Yeah, so there is my favorite incentive of the week. And if you watched my short yesterday for my favorite covers of the week, you probably saw that my favorite cover of the week was this Delato on the One World Under Doom. I've had some time to reflect on this pick, and I think I'm flip-flopping. That's right. I've changed my mind. Since doing that short, I've changed my mind, and Delato is number 2. I think I like the Superwoman. I think I like the Lois by Jeff DeCall this week. I think I like this better. Yeah, she's got a Gal Gadot thing going in the face, but I don't know. I just like the cover. I kind of wish I got a little bit more. It wasn't so zoomed in and her arms weren't cut off or the legs. I wish I would have had a little bit more, but yeah. I changed my mind. So this is my favorite cover of the week. Probably the best cover of the week, in my opinion. But with that, I'm all done. Hopefully you enjoyed this, and hopefully you enjoyed this series as well as everything else here on the channel. As I mentioned before, please do me a favor, comment down below, like, subscribe, hit the alert button. All of those things do help the channel and do help me. So if you can do those, do them all. And if you're already doing them, thank you. And with that, I do want to thank you for the support. It is appreciated. So thanks again. Again, sorry, this is a day later than normal, but it's a crazy week. NFL draft coming soon too. So yeah, next week I'll get back on schedule. But for this week, I'm going to make do. But with that all said, come back and check out all the other shows that will be dropping here. And I'll see you all later with some more content. All right.